us in the kitchen as we bring this rich chocolate brownie to you, and we hope it's gonna be, even if you're a seasoned baker, it would act as, you know, a reminder or several tips and tricks which you might incorporate into making your bakes better. And if you're a novice in the kitchen, then it helps you to ease into the whole concept of recreating this classic. Okay, so off to the kitchen we go, and let's get baking. And we're going to bring about a very simplified method, so it shouldn't be quite difficult to do this on your own. And the beautiful thing is we're not using any of our mixers, so it's going to be quick and very easy and ready to go and ready to eat. So I'm going to start with the ingredients right away. 25 grams of margarine. We're using a totally different method, so I'm just going to get this melted over simmering water. Now you don't want it to necessarily touch the bottom of the actual hot water, so I'm just going to melt this down. So while the butter is melting, I've got 100 grams of rich dark chocolate. Now the thing about brownies is you can't really skimp on your ingredients. When I say skimp, you really need to get very good quality chocolate, because that chocolate is actually the back base of the brownie. So it has to taste very chocolatey, and the cocoa flavor has to be really rich. So you really can't, you have to get the best of the best. So I'm just going to break the chocolate into our already hot. You can see the margarine is nicely melted. I'm just going to break this down. And I'm putting it in little bits, in pieces, because we also want it to melt fast. So I'm going to do this and see you in a bit. So just keep stirring to make sure everything melts very well. The aroma is just heavenly. So this is melted down, and we'll just set it aside to cool down properly. You don't want to put all the other ingredients, because one of our ingredients will be eggs, and you don't want your eggs getting scrambled in the chocolate. So we're going to leave that set aside. Okay, so I've got 200 grams of sugar, which I'm going to put into our margarine and chocolate mixture. Just stir while you put it in. Just give it a very good mix. I'm just going to leave this to cool down slightly, and I'm going to incorporate and mix in the dry ingredients. I've got half a teaspoon of baking powder, which I'm going to put in here. So I've got half a teaspoon of salt going into the dry ingredients, and I'm just going to give it all a mix. Okay, eggs are going in. I've got 3 eggs, so I'm just going to put them in one after the other. So the whole idea is to not to put all of them in at the same time, because you want to make sure it's properly mixed before you go on to the next egg. So number 2, give it a good mix. This is not your conventional cake batter, so you can basically go clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. Okay, last egg. Right, now you're going to sift your flour right into the bowl. The reason for this is you want your flour not just to have the clumps, but you want it quite light and powdery, so that way it incorporates itself right into the batter. So I'm just going to put it all here. As I said, I have 140 grams of flour. So sift a little and mix. Sift a little and I've got 45 grams of cocoa powder, which I'm going to add on into the flour, because it's going to go through the sieve as well. Now sometimes cocoa powder can be a bit difficult to get here. It's just best to, you know, keep on the search, because you don't want to use drinking chocolate that already has milk and emulsifiers and preservatives in there, so it would actually get in the way of your brownie coming out the way it should. So this is the last one. I'm just going to sift this in. This requires, you must have at least have lunch before you do this. It's not like it's difficult, but you know, it needs a good whisking, so I do that. Okay, so this is the last bit. You can just, this looks absolutely rich. Look at that dark chocolate color, and the smell is just really rich. We can already see this coming together. Okay, so I've got 50 ml of chocolate syrup, which I'm just going to add on for that extra flavour. Okay, mix them in. Okay, so I've got 1 tablespoon of vanilla going in. So I'm ditching my whisk for a spatula. Now, again, to intensify the flavour, always remember the recipes here are a benchmark for you to improve upon. Surprise yourself. Give it, you know, your own signature touch to it. But to intensify the flavour today, I'm going to add zest of an orange, which is here. I love chocolate and orange. It just gives it that rich finish to it. So I'm just going to mix that in. Oh, this looks absolutely gorgeous. I found it quite difficult to get chocolate chips, so what I did was get milk, your normal milk chocolate, and I chopped that up, and then what you need to do is to add this into the flour. Now the reason being is to make sure your the chocolate doesn't sink to the bottom of the batter. So I'm just going to add this on here. I will incorporate that into the batter. Okay, so this is the chopped chocolate, milk chocolate dusted down with the flour. Now this is the last phase of this brownie. What we're going to do is put this in and then gently fold that in. So it's all mixed in. Now I'm just going to transfer this to the baking tray. Okay, so I'm just spreading this through, and I'm going to bake this at 180 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. Always keep an eye on it when it goes past. I can hear you saying it after me, when it goes past the 20-minute mark. So we'll see you soon. Right, so brownies are ready. I'm just going to leave it for about 10 to 15 minutes so it cools down properly, and then we'll cut it up into squares. Now what I've done as well is I've made, you know, our chocolate cream buttercream. So if you want to know how to make this, we've got an older video which you can watch to learn how to make this. So we have 2 options really. We can either use the chocolate buttercream over the top of this yummy, scrummy brownie, or you can have it with a bowl of ice cream. It's all up to you. So we'll see you in a bit. Now I've been taking that. What brownies are very popular for is they're cut in squares. So I'm just taking that from there into here, but it's time for us to taste it. Oh, the aroma is just beautiful in here. This is so good. Even my cameraman is wanting this. It's so rich. You can taste the chocolate chips. It literally bursts in your mouth. The chocolate is so rich. You know, normally dark chocolate isn't that sweet, but because of the sugar, you can taste that, the richness of the cocoa. This is something you can have in any cafe in the world. I beat my chest to it. So, once again, let me tell you. I'm going to have another one with cold water. Please try it with cold water. This doesn't really need the buttercream, but again, if you want to incorporate that, you can always do that. And also it goes really well with ice cream, vanilla ice cream, because it pairs very well with the chocolate. So please, it's a challenge again. Make yours and send the pictures. Let's have that contest. This is so good. So I throw it away again. Continue to stick with us. And let's hold hands together as we go through this journey. So take care, have a lovely week, and get baking.